I wouldn't take that if I were you. Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. We do look pretty different, don't we? Even though we share some similarities, but yes, you did guess right. I am not a human. Yes, in fact, I am one. But I take it you're not a very big fan of elves. No, I mean, considering you just took a step back, not to mention the look on your face. I don't see many other ways to interpret that. Well, in any case, the plant you're holding in your hand is water hemlock. Now, unless you intend to use it for what it is, I'd say be careful with the things you take home. No, that is most definitely not cow parsley. On that note, I'll be on my way now. My name? Well, I suppose there's no harm in telling you. I'm Emrith. And care to give me your name? That's such a human name. I'm only joking. I think you have a beautiful name. No, don't worry. You're not trespassing on elven territory. Is this your first time wandering around this place? Well, I only showed myself because the plant you were picking is quite literally deadly. I just wanted to make sure you knew what you were doing. No worries. Right. Am I allowed to leave now, or do you have any other questions for me? I was being sarcastic, but I guess you do have some more questions. Or a whole lot of questions. No, it doesn't really bother me. Not as much as it surprises me at the very least. Well, only 2 minutes ago I thought I would have to wait for the plants to align in order for me to hear your voice. But now there's absolutely no stopping you. It does make sense. Now that you know you're not in any danger, I mean. I heard the stories that the people of your village tell about my people. Humans are really so fun to tease. I promise, I'm only joking. I understand. I really do. We all have our expectations about things and people. I've seen and heard my fair share about what humans are like. And to be completely honest, you don't really fit into any of what I've heard. For instance, I heard that humans were pretty aggressive and hostile, even among themselves. But that their hatred towards other species, especially intelligent ones, goes way beyond what is imaginable. No, for some reason I wasn't afraid to walk away from you without watching my back the way I did earlier. Anyways, your turn. And tell me a story or something you've heard about elves. I think I've heard most of them, but go ahead. Perhaps I'll add something new to my already long list of those. Your grandmother said that. No, we do not hold rituals to curse the human race with incurable illnesses. That really was a good one. No, that one is not an elf thing. That one is more of a me thing. I've always loved the greenery around me. I feel like I speak the language of the plants sometimes. Elves are very much capable of performing magic, but what I have with plants is not much of a power as much as it is a passion. I believe you humans use that word as well. I have acquired and read every book about plants I've laid my eyes on, and I've been doing so since my younger years, and I just can't seem to slow down. Hmm. Tell you what, if we ever meet again, then I'll tell you my age and you'll tell me yours as well. Does that sound like a deal? Great. Yes, that is the reason I'm adamant that what you have there is not cow parsley. For starters, the stems of cow parsley are thinner than that and could even be described as graceful. Meanwhile, water hemlock, as you can see, has a robust stem. Besides, cow parsley shouldn't have those purple blotches. I do know a place where cow parsley grows. It's not very far from here. I can guide you if you'd like. Very well. Right this way then. Out of curiosity, what is it you need this plant for? I see. I'd say celebrate is a strong word for it, but no. Us elves do not celebrate Samhain. If I'm not mistaken, your grandmother will prepare and give the herbs she sent you to gather as her offering for the gods and the fae. No, we do not need to give up these offerings since we are part of the creatures the humans try to keep at bay during the Samhain, when the veils between the worlds are thinner. Well, do you remember what I said earlier about me choosing to show myself to you? That's because, thanks to our magic, we can walk among you, and yet you still wouldn't have the slightest idea that we do. In fact, our village is quite close to yours, but we made sure that no human could ever stumble upon it accidentally. And it's just about the same for all other creatures that humans know about just enough to fear. I am not very knowledgeable when it comes to history, but I do believe that ages ago, humans came to understand that around a certain time every year, extraordinary things happen. Well, extraordinary for humans, that is. Yes, we do use our magic to hide our presence from humans. But during Samhain, as you people have decided to call it, none of it works. I mean, we can still do magic, but no matter how hard we try, none of our cloaking spells work anymore. Actually, according to our ancient documents, there were wars waged by humans against us, against all of us, and apparently, they lost all of them. While humans surpassed the elves in numbers by far, their odds were still bad. You are correct. Waging a war against all other magical creatures at the same time was what led them to their doom. After that, even when humans tried to take us down one race at a time, they still failed. Because we understood that once they'd be over with one, they'd go after another. So the rest of the races decided to join forces against your people. But that was centuries ago, from what I read at least. I do think so as well. I mean, humans had to cut their losses at some points. What I think is sad, however, is that they decide to isolate themselves instead of opening up to the rest of the world and getting to know what lies around them. They lost, but they still held on to their ways in the end. Humans refused us, no matter what, and they only instilled fear in the children about us. In the end, My ancestors, as well as other races, decided to avoid the conflict altogether by staying hidden and just stopping all attempts at communication. Ever since then, humans give all sorts of offerings and remain locked in their homes during Samhain. So, yes, that was how the Samhain as you know it came to be. True, it does mean that the elves used to cloak their presence even before the wars happened. Looking at it from that angle makes me empathize with humans back then. It certainly mustn't have been easy. Walking out one night to find that an entire village has appeared out of nowhere. And right at your doorstep, no less. Still, a lot of lives were lost, and I think that there were other ways to deal with the situation other than waging war like I did. Oh, and we're here, by the way. Now this is cow parsley. Yes, and you can see that this one has a darker shade of green, while the other has a paler one too. Would you tell me, what is it that you're passionate about? You know what I'm passionate about now. I think it's only fair that I get to know about you. I'm sorry, did I say something wrong? You just seem very uncomfortable all of a sudden. Is that so? No, I guess I just didn't expect that from a human. Magic is part of my everyday life, but for a human, magic is uncharted territory as far as I know. You're kind of been very hush hush about this topic, almost like speaking the word magic would curse them. I never thought I'd live long enough to hear a human admit that they not only study and search, but try to practice magic as well. But now that I think about it, even though you did look scared when you first realized what I was, had any other human walked in your shoes, they probably would have run for the hills instead of staying the way you did. So it is true then. Practicing magic for humans is prohibited and even punishable. I was wondering why you didn't jump on the opportunity to ask me more questions about magic when I said that I could use it. But now I understand your apprehension. Well, I did spend our entire walk rambling about how your people feared and fought everything that was foreign to them. But I'm glad it gave you the courage to speak your mind out loud. I must say, you've taught me something new about humans as well. I learned that humans possess individuality as well. You don't share all the same traits, which makes sense, considering that you war among yourselves and all. I'm ashamed to admit it, but I did look down on your race and thought I could just lump all of you into a small number of overgeneralized groups, and I'm very sorry about that. I'm also sad to say that this day is nearing its end. Nothing good comes from ambling through this forest at night. Not for a human, at least. You should start heading back to your village. Oh, you have a favor to ask me? Well, if I can, then sure. Do tell. I thought you'd ask me that. I really would have liked to help you, but. Oh, please. Don't give me that pleading look. How can a simple look be this devastating? All right, all right. Even though sneaking scrolls and books out of our village will not be an easy task, it shouldn't be the end of the world either. I'll see what I can do. Don't thank me yet. I haven't done anything just yet. Yes, of course we can meet again. I did promise I'd tell you my age in a second meeting after all. Didn't I? No, not tomorrow. I can't bring out what you asked me tomorrow. It'll need some planning and oh, you just want to see me. Well, in that case, sure. And tomorrow it is. The same place, the same time. Okay then. I'll see you then.